DLC for this game. It's alright. Hey y'all, what's up? Let's see. So I think what I want to do is maybe try to get some more DLCs like done. We are still in the phase. So we're still in step 1 where where they're still kids or whatever. I wasn't sure if I ended it there or not. Alright, should we do the grown up long day? The long day, bro, it was literally a long ass day. I'm not gonna hold you up. Let's do the library first. Every year, the Sunset Bird Memorial Library held a summer reading program. Your moms and Lizzie were big fans of it. Mom and Mommy because it encouraged reading, and Lizzie because she could win prizes. When it came to what you thought of having to read a bunch of books, then going to the library with a competitive Lizzie, personally, I like to read. So I'm gonna say I loved it. Each time it had been one of the highlights of your summer. Your mom still brought up the time when you shyly made her a thank you card for letting you participate. You and Lizzie went with Sheloff before, and this year you'd brought Cove too. His dad had been so over the moon about Cove being included that he'd driven all 4 of you. You had never been in Cove's dad's car before. It seemed a lot shinier than your mom's. After herding the group inside, Mr. Holden, the man himself, the legend, gave you all a wide wave with the arm that had a stingray on it. Have fun, kids. Stay in sight of the librarians, you hear? I wish I could watch you in action, but your poor old dad has to finish up some work.
I got it.
Though I'm sure that won't get in the way. Heck, I'd probably hold you kids back. There's pointingly no reply from his son over what was likely meant as only a joke. Cove's dad seemed to deflate a bit. Okay, I'll swing around again when this shindig ends. Yeah, you can go home now. Aw, you don't have to throw me out the door. Your sister, already full in competition mode, cut him off. For once, Cove looked grateful she was there.
Come on!
We have to go find a table, Mr. Holding. You can talk to Cove after, when we win. Okay, see you in about an hour. Have fun. Did I say that already? My advanced age is really catching up to me now. Bye, Dad. Bye, son. The 4 of you watched him shuffle out of the library, glancing over his shoulder at Cove more than once. Bye, Mr. Holden. Thank you for bringing us. Thanks, Lizzie. I don't know what you're thanking me for. Are you copying Shiloh? Distracted, Cove was already glancing around the gigantic library. I want to explore. What? I said I want to go look around and see what's in here. But the quiz starts soon. That's why we came. Wide at the first signs of conflict, Shiloh's eyes darted between Lizzie and Cove. Then you can do it without me, right? You don't need a bunch of people. Didn't your dad say to stay with the librarians? You shouldn't go somewhere by yourself. Cove leveled an unimpressed stare at the both of them. Then his eyes met yours.
Hey!
Why are you looking at her? Hazika is with us. Hazika can come if she wants to. And listen, let me tell y'all something, because it's been a long time. Yeah, if y'all like, you're saying the name wrong. No, because this is the character that I came up with. This is my little persona, and that's what her name is going to be. So, yes, technically, the name is Ezekiel, or whatever the fuck. But for me, it's not. For my character, that's how her name is pronounced, okay? Thank you. Okay, what am I gonna go with? Honestly, I don't want to do no fucking quiz. That's not fun for me. I don't want to do that. Cove's idea is more fun.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously. Cove looked surprised, but happy at the same time. This was something you'd quietly admitted you were looking forward to, and you still picked his idea and said, No, I do not want to do no quiz. That's boring. That's boring. What do I look like doing a quiz for fun? Hell no. Fine. Let's go, show off. Okay. Her arms folded. Your sister stormed off. Shilov had to race to keep up with her. She cares a lot about that. Shilov looks like a chihuahua trying to keep up with a horse. You couldn't help but laugh. Since you've been here a lot before, we could play hide and seek. Hide and seek? Not exploring? Yep. If I'm searching for you and you're searching for me, we'll really have to look at everything. You weren't entirely sure of how effective that would be, but couldn't say he was totally wrong. I'll hide first. Decision made, Cove took off towards the back of the library. You already agreed to play with him instead, so you covered your face and waited for 10 seconds. When you looked up again, he was nowhere to be seen. You glanced over towards the way he went. Cove hadn't had much time to hide, but he was already invisible. The place you decided to check was... Let's see. I don't remember much about Cove, if I'm being completely honest. But I think I personally like the stars and the moon and the planets and stuff. So I guess I'll check behind there. Your library solar system display was pretty neat. It had all of the planets from the sun on out, and it had its own little section hidden in the science books. But you saw a tiny pair of familiar shoes poking out from under the earth, so you leaned around it. Hi.
Hey.
Oh, hey. He turned back to the earth and its tiny moon. From this spot, I think it's supposed to be a solar eclipse. It kind of blocks out the sun. You looked at it, tilting your head. He was right. This thing was something you always walked by, but you never noticed that before. Hide and seek did seem to be working out for finding interesting things.
Okay.
Your turn now. I'm gonna cover my eyes and count to 10. I promise I won't peek. While Cove had his eyes securely behind the palms of his hands, you went to go hide. Let's see. But let's go to fantasy. You decided to hide from Cove in the fantasy section. He never really mentioned being interested in fantasy, so you had pretty good odds of hiding for a while there. If he didn't pay attention to it, or read it much, he might just glance over it. And you were right, sort of. He left you waiting for a while, long enough that you eventually pushed yourself to your feet to stretch your legs. You went in the round, but Cove wasn't even trying. Over the edge of a shelf, you saw him standing and staring at a bunch of books. You tapped him on the shoulder, and he spun around. Ah!
Sorry.
I was gonna come find you soon. It's alright. You gestured at the shelf full of books and the one in his hand that had clearly been taking up all of his attention. They're the Narnia series. They have talking animals in a magic land and intense fights. And my mom used to read them with me. Oh. Her favorite one was Susan. You weren't sure what to do. You weren't sure what he would do. His mom was always a sensitive topic. But he took the book back on the shelf and that was all. It was nice the memories made him happy instead of sad this time.
All right.
It's my turn again. Start counting so I can go pick a spot. Okay. I also want to apologize if it sounds like there's a fucking party. I also want to apologize if it sounds like there's a fucking party going on right now. My family has some family over. And you know, speaker systems and shit like that, they love that shit. So I'm sorry if it's pretty loud. Honestly, I might just have to fucking record this whole video all over again, to be honest. Or at least do a voiceover, but gosh. Okay. It's alright. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Cove darted off before you even had a chance to fully close your eyes. One Mississippi. When the time was up, he was long gone. Again. There was still a lot of good places to hide, so you figured he was... let's try the kid detective poster, I guess. You figured he was probably near the poster with a gigantic image of a smirking kid detective. Honestly, he probably would have been near the Willy Wonka statue, or whatever the fuck that was, but I don't fuck with Willy Wonka. Fuck? No, stop. I don't mess with him, no, for real, but he probably was over there. Cove could have hidden in the itty-bitty little reading area next to it. Glancing past the poster itself briefly, your brain registered the words, ah! Judy B. Jones! Ah! I love Judy B. Jones. I used to read a whole bunch of Judy B. Jones books when I was younger. Oh my gosh. What? So I guess apparently I never clicked this one because I've never seen that. What? Judy B. Jones. Don't call her Beatrice. Oh, that just brought back so many core memories. What? I'm losing it, guys. Okay. In big imposing letters. You pause to stare at it for a second, thinking, why would I call her Beatrice if her name is Junie? Shaking your head to clear away the distraction, you tiptoed in to see who was sitting in the comfy chair. And sure enough, it was Cove. But he was so absorbed in the book he was reading that he hadn't even noticed you yet. I don't think most people read while playing hide and seek. Cove glanced up at you in one rough motion. Oh, hi, Zika. I wasn't sure when you'd get here. It took a while. Not that long. It could have been worse, but it could have been better. Let's keep playing. I can still win. He put his hands over his eyes, but before you could run off again, a librarian approached the two of you. Ah, kids, I've been looking for you. Cove peeked between his fingers at the stranger. Us? You must be Cove. Your dad told me he was waiting by the entrance. Cove blinked, mouth opening like he was going to say something, then glanced down at his pink cast. It was a pretty clear giveaway. Sure. Is my sister Lizzie with him? She's taller than us and has orange hair. You're Hazika, right? You nodded. Phew. I found both of you at once. That's right. She's with him. And the little guy with freckles. Come on, let's go get you reunited so we can close up for the night. Ready to go home, you and Cole followed him up front. I just gave him a female voice. But you know what? It is fine. Maybe he just has like more of a feminine toned voice. A lighter toned voice, you know? We don't discriminate, bro. What? We don't discriminate? Yeah, we don't. Not here, bro. Not here. I'm sorry. Yo. Okay. We're the ragtag group of family members in Shalom are all waiting. Hey! There you are. She was pouting. You could tell from all the way across the room, and it was only that much more obvious as you got closer. Did you win? We came in second. Hey, gang. I thought you'd been with them the whole time, Cove. I'm glad you didn't just go off by yourself, at least. Cove glanced over at you, then back up at his dad.
Yeah.
Me too. A broad smile spread over Mr. Holden's face.
That's...
Even so, next time you should... Cove? Cove? Cove's dad glanced around, slightly frantic, but Cove, just like always, had snuck off without thinking to say anything. He's leaving. He's trying to be the first one to the car. Cove's trying to be the first one to the car. You get what I'm saying. With a sudden burst of speed, Lizzie darted for the exit, still in victor-to-be mode, even for something like a race to ride in the front seat. Jesus. Oh my gosh. Nothing else for the three of you to do except head after them, pretending the librarians hadn't noticed all the commotion. Though Lizzie had been victorious in claiming a window seat in the car, you could tell by her crossed arms and occasional pout that she still had not forgiven your betrayal. Cove had sighed when he had to sit in the middle after Lizzie shot past him at the last second, but he cheered up some as you hopped in the back seat next to him. Did you say you came in second place? That's some good going.
No.
It's not. She levied another glare at you over her shoulder. Sure. Striving to improve is good, too. That makes Azika the winner in your family. You wriggled in your seat, hiding a smile behind your hands. Hazika kept finding me in our game. I lost. We need a rematch. Hide and seek with just you two? That doesn't even count as winning.
Why?
Why not? It's not special. There's no judges or prizes. He eyed the seat that she fought so hard to win. That wasn't much of a prize either. Dad. Yes? You could see Cove's dad's eyes in the rear view mirror, suddenly attentive at his son's call. We need a prize. Oh, as a matter of fact, Mr. Holden focused intently on the road ahead as though a suitable reward to please Cove might appear before him. Right. The big thing on the flyer for this was the chance to get a free pizza coupon, wasn't it? How about I call up a takeout place and we can have pizza at home for dinner? Lizzie huffed, pulling her arms closer to her chest. Is Mom even gonna let you take a pizza from Mr. Holden? We'll see. I'll ask her. I'll talk to all of your moms about this. Pleased, you smiled as you stared out the window at the scenery whizzing by. Thanks, Mr. Holden. Yeah, thanks, Dad. You're welcome. I do what I can. But you really should have stuck with the group. The quiz would have been fun. That was the plan when I dropped you off. We stayed together and didn't leave the library. I'm glad for that. Well, there's a lot of trouble you could get into even if you do have a buddy along for the ride. Just be careful next time. I worry about you, and I bet Hazika's parents wouldn't want her to run off unexpectedly either. Okay, son?
Okay.
That's my boy. Now enough gruff from your old dad. Let's decide what kind of toppings we're gonna get. Pepperoni! Sounds good. Anything else? And the conversation continued from there, with debates on what was best to put on a pizza for the rest of the drive. Mr. Holden wanted anchovies, and the other three kids in the car had to band together to explain how gross they were. The way Cove's dad laughed up in the front seat made you wonder if he was doing it on purpose. You had a fun day already, but closing it out with a promise of a free pizza after all, and more time to hang out with Cove made it even sweeter. It was a shame that you hadn't been able to do the quiz, but skipping it for just 1 year didn't hurt. It was worth it. I literally just thought about this. I don't think I want to showcase all of the DLCs and stuff like that, or all of these little short moments in here, because there's still so many opportunities to replay this game, and I want people to be able to experience some of the stuff in the game. If for some reason people want me to like do any more of these, like more than the ones that I'm going to do in this video, then please do let me know, and I can always go ahead and do that a little separately, because I can save and just go back to the ones that I didn't do if they want to see them. But if you want to still experience it for yourself, play it. Like I said, this game, there's so much replayability. It's so nice. I think this game is honestly like really lovely. So I would say play it yourself too, because this game is probably like one of my favorite games. It's really nice, and I feel like I related to a lot of stuff that I was choosing. It made me think a lot as well. So I definitely would say check out the game too yourself. But yeah, if you guys do like want me to play a specific little short story thing, let me know. And I can definitely do that. I'll just do it in like a separate video or something like that. But I don't want to spoil too much if people want to experience those things as well. So I might do maybe 1 or 2 more. It depends on how long the stuff is, how long they are. I think I'll do the barbecue. Along to the big park today, which did an excellent job of living up to its title. The park near your house, with its lonely playground equipment, wasn't even a quarter of the size of the expanse of grass and trees that lay before you now. As it was in the next town over and too far for you to walk by yourself, you didn't get to visit it much, and so you soaked up the environment. Another difference between this park and the one in your neighborhood was that this one had visitors other than you, Lizzie, Shiloff, and Cove. Today it was the busiest you've ever seen it, thanks to a community get-together luring people in from all over the local area with the promise of barbecue and fireworks. Your family and Cove's were just two of many. What seemed like dozens of cars were parked up already when you had arrived. You saw Cove hesitate as he took in the growing gangle of strangers. By your mommy, Lizzie bounced on the balls of her feet, barely containing her excitement. Me as a kid. Let's see. Or should I say like Hazika as a kid? Crowd. I'll say the crowd made her a little nervous, but you couldn't avoid coming to the event. Mommy had told you that the people running the community event weren't charging for it, but she wanted them to get something in return, which is why you're not allowed to touch the beautifully iced cupcakes she had carried on her lap during the drive over. It was a special treat for them. Every time the car made a turn, she clutched the box tight enough for her knuckles to strain, much to everyone else's amusement. Mr. Holden's contribution to the party, a huge pack of juice boxes, was tucked under his arm after being retrieved from the car's trunk. You bet there had been no such dramatics around that cargo getting here in one piece, but the boxes did lack the beautiful shimmer of Mommy's treasured cupcakes.
Okie
Everyone all set? Should be. Cove, did you put sunscreen on before we left? Yeah, I always do. You don't have to tell me. Mr. Holden deflated, his attempt at caring for his son rebuffed, but he triumphed with a smile. I don't want you getting burned, or dehydrated either. It'll be a busy day.
Well,
Don't think there's going to be any risk of that second part. Mom nodded at the tables up ahead, laden with all kinds of food and drink. She was right. There was plenty to go around. The parents headed over, with you, Lizzie, and Cove trailing after them. A bunch of grown-ups were clustered around them, chatting, but you were more intrigued by what was on the tables. Some of it was familiar. Grilled meat, sliced vegetables, big bags of chips, but there was a lot that you didn't recognize. Your moms had said that you weren't to touch the food until they said it was time to eat. Wait. You felt that was important. You saw that Mommy and Mr. Holden had deposited the food and drink they bought. Mommy gave the cupcakes one final worried look before turning to you with a smile. Since that's the topic at hand, how about we freshen up with something to drink? Yeah! That'd be great. Along with the ones out, there was a giant ice cooler on the ground, stuffed full of cans of soda, boxes of juice and milk, as well as bottles of water. Your drink would get the option to choose another one. I'd probably go with juice, but since we just got there, if it was like a long drive, I probably want some water. The water went down easily, quenching a thirst you hadn't noticed. Your little group took a break while everyone quenched their thirst. Mr. Holden smacked his lips, pantomiming enjoyment. That hits the spot. But you kids should go have fun. You could take your stuff with you and join the other kids playing games. Just don't go too far from the tables. We'll be keeping an eye out, so don't even think about sneaking off. We're not going to the other parts of the park today. Lizzie huffed at their comments. They did sound directed at her, but she scanned the surroundings, nodding her head towards a group of kids like a general directing their battalion. She pointed the way.
come on!
Let's go over there. Cole's mouth was downturned as he looked from the parents and the other kids. Cove's mouth was downturned as he looked from the parents and the other adults to the new kids, clearly not favoring either option. But ultimately he hunched his shoulders and tagged along after Lizzie. I'll go play. You followed after Lizzie and Cove, who were waiting for you on the outskirts of the group of parents. Hurry up! You picked up the pace, moving it to a jog, but when Lizzie pelted away at full speed, you and Cove had no choice but to break out into a run. The other kids were far out in the field. Still, at your speed, it wasn't long until you reached them. As you approached, they turned around to greet the newcomers.
Hi!
I'm Lizzie. That's my little sister, Hazika. The one with the cast is Cove. You offered a smile. Cove simply lifted a hand in greeting. There was a chorus of hellos and names from the other kids. One of the kids looked to be about Lizzie's age or older. A couple seemed to be the same age as you and Cove, and there was one tiny little thing with his arms folded over his chest. What are you up to? The first kid, a boy with curly black hair and neon green sneakers who introduced himself as Hayden, shrugged as he looked to the others. Not much. The second kid to pipe up, Lisa, had half her face obscured behind the huge glasses she wore. We haven't decided yet. She glanced wistfully over her shoulder. Following her gaze, you saw the spray of water first and heard the shriek as someone got splashed in the face before you spotted the person shooting them. Some people are playing with water guns, but there aren't many left. The smallest kid, Noah, grumbled at that. You guessed that was why he was sulking. Spencer, who hadn't said much, patted his shoulder. So that's out. A new kid raced over, with a glint in her eyes and her braids streaming behind her. You spotted the plastic orange pistol in her hand too late when the trigger had already been pressed. Rude! Hey! Lizzie, who had been caught first, was fuming. Cove wiped the water from his face. He rubbed at your ear, trying to dislodge the water that pooled there. I might have said, I guess don't spray people. You were with Lizzie. It was mean to spray people who weren't playing, too. The girl simply darted off to find more victims, unaffected by your reaction. She doesn't mean anything by it. Lizzie tutted, flicking her hair out of her face. The girl not meaning anything by it didn't change the fact that she'd been sprayed. Cove looked similarly unimpressed. Lizzie's face lit up as she had an idea. Hey, we should catch her. She won't be able to spray people if she's running away from everybody. Yeah. Cove nodded as the other kids murmured their interest, or lack of it, in the game. I just say okay. You joined the group of kids in tearing off after the girl with the pistol. Spotting you all over her shoulder, she laughed and shot her pistol in the air, only a couple of drops squeezed out. She swerved, causing discourse within your team as someone stood on your foot and you collided with Cove's shoulder. Sorry. Cove shot you a smile that gave you a feeling of camaraderie. It's okay. You were closing in on the girl, but you weren't alone. Lizzie's face was set with intent, and the two older kids were hot on her heels too. They were speedy. You pushed yourself, willing your legs to move just that bit faster. You were close, just not enough. Lisa lunged and tackled her friend to the ground. Got her! Panting, she punched the air in triumph, then pushed her glasses back up the bridge of her nose. The girl who had been caught giggled as she got to her feet, brushing strands of grass from her knees. Smiling, Cove came to a stop at your side. Lisa whooped with delight, clapping her hands. The boy with the bright sneakers grinned. You're it now. Catch us if you can. Yeah. I'll do it. You won't get away from me. With that, you all dispersed, squealing and laughing as you tried to evade capture. The sour mood from earlier had evaporated entirely, replaced by a light and playful atmosphere. Several rounds later, when most of the kids had taken at least one turn as it, the scent of smoke wafted up to your nose. Caught by surprise, you looked up and found that the brilliant blue of the sky had turned orange as the sun sunk down on the horizon. With all the excitement, you lost track of time completely. Looking over, you saw people standing over the grills and poking them to life. It was nearly time to eat. We should get over there. I'm so hungry. Our parents are at different spots. Yeah. Bye. It was cool playing. Yep. Bye. You waved goodbye to the other group of kids before hurrying over to your parents with Lizzie and Cove. A tickle unfurled in your throat, growing more persistent as you came closer to the source of the smoke. As the three of you approached the tables, your parents spotted you and came to join you halfway. You tried to greet them, but that's quite a cough. Are you all right, sweetie? I would have shook my head. Hell no. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. The smoke will be gone soon. No one needs to go up to the grills if they don't want to. Just let me know what you need. There was no response from the other two kids there. You get it for me? Of course.
So,
The main thing being served is kebabs. You can have whatever you like on it. There's different meats and veggies.
Well?
What would you like on yours? Mom is right. There's plenty of options. Now I get to choose what I want on my kebab. I want potatoes. I want zucchini. And I guess chicken and peppers. But it depends. Like, sometimes them peppers be a hit or miss because I only like specific peppers. But sounds good to me. The veggies will be good for you. Order given, you waited for your food to be ready. Lizzie headed towards you, having issued her own request. Hi again. I heard what you ordered. I'm getting a chicken kebab with all 3 colors of peppers. Noticing that, Cove approached. She turned to him. What are you having?
why?
Why does it matter? I don't know. I was just asking. I'm getting beef and shrimp with all the vegetables, except onions. Lizzie hummed while evaluating his response. That's okay, I guess, but chicken is definitely the better one. Then you can eat all the chicken. I'm going to. The chicken in the world? Look, I might have said something like that as a kid, bro, you know? No, that's dumb. You know what I mean. Lizzie peered over to the grills where the kebabs were being handed out. A growing assortment of kebabs collected in your parents' hands. They're coming over. Don't get jealous of mine when you realize you made the wrong choice, Cove. I didn't make the wrong choice. There isn't a wrong choice. I'll just say we all made good choices. It's just what kebab somebody eats. The person serving gave your mommy one final kebab, then your parents moved over to rejoin you. Between them, they were carrying 6 kebabs, one for each of you, including Cove and Mr. Holden. We've got the goods. Cove's daddy is looking for a place we can sit. In the meantime, they began passing out the kebabs to their rightful owners. Lizzie smiled smugglingly as she received hers. Those are pretty big. Be careful not to drop it. Try not to poke yourselves with the ends either. They're sharper than you might think. Hearing that, you tentatively pushed the tip of the skewer against your finger. It felt like the point of a newly sharpened pencil. That is definitely something I would do. Probably still now, too. Though it didn't hurt your hand, you wouldn't want it scraping the roof of your mouth or jabbing your tongue. Mommy clucked her tongue. It would have been nice if the options were a little easier to manage and less messy to eat, especially for smaller kids. There aren't even plates for everyone, so we could set the food down for a second. That's what you get for the price of free, but we can hack it, right? Lizzie nodded her head vigorously, clutching her kebab like a trophy. Your parents led you back to the tables. It was immediately evident why Mr. Holden had been sent to scout one out. The benches had quickly filled up as people got their food. Mr. Holden was standing over a corner section near the edges of the sitting area. He beckoned your group over to join him. You clambered onto the bench, taking care not to let your kebab slip from your fingers. Cove took a seat next to you. Lizzie took the other side. Your mom passed the final unclaimed kebab to Mr. Holden.
Thank you.
Thanks. This looks delicious. Thank you for getting us a space out here. Everyone tucked into their food. You gobbled it up eagerly, only partially obstructed by the awkwardness of eating from a skewer. Running around with the other kids had helped you to work up an appetite. Mr. Holden, what do you do? Well, I do a lot of things. Do you play golf? Only if you count mini golf. One look at Lizzie's stricken face confirmed that she did not. She could enjoy the occasional round at a mini golf place, especially if she had an audience to impress, but your sister took her passion very seriously. Even then, it's been years since I gave it a shot. Cove groaned at the feeble pun. Mom chuckled. You weren't sure if she was responding to the joke, Cove's annoyance, or Lizzie's offense.
Don't worry about it.
Just as well, she'd be dragging you to the green every week. That's because I've got dedication. You need a good drive or two to get far. Mr. Holden nodded, clicking his tongue in appreciation. Cove looked from his father to your sister, lost in the conversation. Outclassed and golf and wit. I don't get it. More golf stuff. You should give real golf a try. Maybe I'll even teach you some tricks. Don't try to change my dad to be more like you. Lizzie gave Cove a dirty look at the accusation. Mommy felt the need to move the topic ahead before it got heated. That's really sweet of you, but I'm sure Mr. Holden is busy. He might not have time for another hobby. Yeah, I don't think I'm made for that. Still, the offer is appreciated.
Why?
Then tell me something you really do. You just go away every day. I like scuba diving, though with the business, that's more work than play those days. Surfing and reading, snorkeling. I'll say I was intrigued. Studying the man with the box closely as he gradually meandered nearer, you can make out that he was handing out small items to most of the groups he stopped at. They seemed too short to be water bottles, but beyond that, it remained a mystery. Then the box man made his way to your group. Evening, I'm handing out desserts. Any takers? There's dessert! Lizzie squealed, hopping up off the ground. The man chuckled. Ooh! I'm gonna take that as a yes. Ice cream's on the menu. Vanilla flavored with a twist of either chocolate or strawberry syrup. Nice. None for me, though. Thanks. Same, but the offer is appreciated. I want chocolate. Can I have strawberry? And a strawberry for me, too, please. Now you're going to have to make a decision. Chocolate or strawberry? That's not even a decision. No. That's not even a decision, bro. I'm going to get strawberry. Reaching into the box, the man brought out the requested ice creams and tossed them out. It came packaged in a little plastic cup, complete with a wooden spoon stuck to the paper lid. Them wooden spoons be tasting good. I haven't actually eaten a wooden spoon, bro. But if you know, you know. Like it was just, I don't know. It was something about the wood texture. I've never actually ingested a fucking wood spoon, okay? It just, I don't know. It's something about that. It's something about it. I don't think they even hit the same now. But back then, I'm telling you, as kids, we was fucking stupid, bro. As kids, we was stupid, bro. The condensation wet your fingers in a pleasant way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kids, are you going to thank the nice man too? There was a chorus of thanks. He coordinately nodded and walked off to another group. The man couldn't spend much time with each group considering how many he had to get to. You peeled back the tab that covered the ice cream and got right into your unexpected treat. It tastes amazing. Lizzie was definitely enjoying hers. Cove was too. Lizzie munched away happily, but it ultimately didn't succeed in monopolizing her attention. Eyes wide, she looked at her mommy. Eyes wide, she looked at her mommy, I said it right, and pulled on her pants. I didn't get strawberry. Can I have some of yours? Please?
Of course.
Of course, sweetie. Lizzie cooed with excitement as Mommy presented hers with a dollop of ice cream and syrup mixture. Licking her lips, Lizzie lapped it up. Mommy, come on now. Lizzie has all the ice cream she needs. She simply laughed and pinched Lizzie's cheeks, then dug her spoon in again and held it out to you. I just can't resist. Hazika, would you like some of mine? She's already got that flavor, but that's not the same as getting a little extra from your mommy. Yeah, I'll take it, thank you. Cove watched the exchange silently with a blank expression. Mom, on the other hand, shook her head, a fond smile on her face. Well, you better at least give me some, too. You could have gotten your own if you wanted ice cream.
What?
The kids have ice cream already, and they're getting some of yours to boot, and I have nothing. Now is when you decide to be firm? Laughing, Mommy fed some ice cream to your sulking mom. She could never actually follow through with being tight. All better now? Yes. Good. How about you, Cliff? Would you like some? She just shared her fucking wooden spoon. That bitch got so much saliva on it. No, I'm still okay, but thanks for keeping me in mind. Cove, it's only fair that you get the choice too. Cove shook his head firmly, concentrating on his own cup. Mommy smiled. Okay, as long as no one is feeling left out. Mommy was always so nice to everyone. He looked over at Cove. He was digging into his ice cream, which bore the same pinkish red twirl as your own. Want some of mine? Sharing is nice, but you weren't able to do that. We literally have the same flavor, and your mom already just offered it, and he said he didn't want it. You were going to keep the rest of your ice cream to yourself, and he had already and he already had the same flavor as you. Then the first fireworks cut through the sky, whistling as it ascended until it hit its crescendo with an explosion. The park flashed as if alight. Squealing, Lizzie leapt to her feet, her forgotten ice cream tumbling to the ground as the firework crackled into tiny drops of glitter in the sky. It's starting! Everyone else looked up to the sky as another firework whizzed through the air. With each explosion, Lizzie would jump in the air. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, fireworks are loud. They're nice. When I was a kid, they were really nice, but they're loud now for me. I'm gonna say the event was thrilling. Cove sat by his dad, captivated by the sky sparkles and flashes overhead. And I said that it was thrilling because as a kid it wasn't that bad. Like, it was tolerable, but now no. I need some headphones or something. Mr. Holden watched the fireworks scene impassively. He did smile at you and even gave a thumbs up when he noticed you looking over. Mommy hopped to her feet, pulling Mom with her, pushing her into joining Lizzie and jumping up in tandem with every crack of a firework. Mommy then bent down to offer you a hand up too. Do I want to join them? What are they doing? I'm not jumping, bro. I'll stay on the ground. The vast array of colors in the sky was hypnotic. As if entranced, you stayed rooted to the floor, marveling at the wonders flashing above you. Mommy understood when you didn't get off the ground. Instead, she sat down again right by you. The two of you enjoyed the sparkles side by side, while Mom and Lizzie danced together. The fireworks continued, some twisting like the coil of a spring as they arched into the air, others shooting straight from the ground and shattering into a million tiny specks. Every color got its spotlight in the show, from fiery reds to eerie greens and blues that could rival the ocean. You eventually noticed that at some point Mr. Holden had let Cove perch atop his shoulders, or more likely, Cove had to be persuaded to give it a try. Still, Cove's face was covered with a wide smile that matched his father's own. You imagined the view from way up there was pretty impressive. It was also nice that they were getting along for once. The show built up to a grand final that boomed over the park and filled every inch of the sky, the twinkling lights representing the full spectrum of the rainbow. As the final glittering embers dissolved into the night, you released a deep breath. The after image was still burned in your retinas, leaping up behind your eyelids with every blink. Within a minute, the image had been lost, but it was burned deeper still in your mind. You'd been so focused on the show that your foot had gone numb beneath you, and it was only when you attempted to stand that you felt the tingling sensation of blood rushing back to your toes. Cove was on the ground again. You flashed him a grin, which he immediately matched. Getting to share the experience with a friend made a fun night even better. Though the sun had gone down long ago, the air on your bare arms was warm. You took in your giddy family, their spirits buoyed by the firework display, then your new friend and his father, who looked happy in their own quieter way and smiled. This had been a pretty special night. Then I do one more, because then we'll have 5. So it's 5, and so it's 10 of them. So I think I'll do one more, and then I'll call it a day for like these.